ride. Oh, what a catch! George Springer's doing it all.
What's up, bro? How are you doing?
What's going on? Doing good. Got the trade deadline about a week away, so got a lot to talk about today.
No, I got to the Mets game last night. Now,
Yeah.
let me tell you, I've never so much in one game. And quick rant, the amount of times during an at bat, people went to their seats in front of me and made us get up. It didn't happen a couple times. It happened so many times. It felt like a comedy. It was. I'd never seen anything like it.
Man, at that point, you gotta just stand the whole time.
No, it was truly fantastic. And the freaking oh my god, the Blue Jays defense was insane. And this was Saturday's game, by the way, for when we're releasing this, probably on Tuesday.
Yeah.
No, it was a mess. It was a heck of a game. But yeah, no, we got trade deadline going on. Some already happened. Well, let's get into first best thing you saw this week.
So, not necessarily best thing. It's kind of a funny thing. I think it was yesterday in the Rockies game. Charlie Blackmon came out of the clubhouse wearing the wrong jersey.
Yeah,
they were wearing black. They were wearing black uniforms, and he came up wearing purple. And he didn't realize right away, and people had to tell him to go back down and change.
How do you not realize right away?
I
literally
don't know.
Everyone else around him was wearing.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he was late.
More than once, though. I've definitely seen I talk with the Cubs that happened.
Yeah, I remember I saw with the Cubs probably about 10 years ago. I forget who it was, but the Cubs have two road uniforms. They have one that says Chicago and one that says Cubs. Right. Well, they're both gray, so that's not as bad as wearing purple when the other team's wearing black. I mean, when your team is wearing black. So I thought that was kind of funny. Look, maybe Charlie Blackmon's trying to get out of there. You know what I mean? Might try to get traded. So he's trying to act
off. Exactly. Yeah. Don't blame him.
Yeah.
For me, the catch George Springer made last night was fantastic. I hate to say it. I think it was off Nimmo, and Nimmo hit a rocket to left field.
Yeah. That was something else.
Crazy. And the fans were giving Springer shit all night. And at some point I was just guys, we gotta stop, because he homered.
Yeah.
He doubled. Yeah. I think he made the catch. I'm he's feeding off of this. We gotta stop at this point.
And listen, people remember that Springer was either going to sign with the Jays or the Mets. That was it in the offseason. So, I get the Mets fans giving it to him a little, but I also get Springer taking that energy and being okay.
I mean, that's what Kobe always used to say, that he was the boos on the road actually made me better. They comforted me. So I don't know, some people it works, but yeah, I was at some point, it's guys, we got cut out. But
yeah,
it's a fantastic play by him. Getting to some of the news for the week. Biggest trade so far, Nelson Cruz to Tampa, and then he homers in his first at bat.
Yeah, he sure did. Isn't this great for the Yanks? Nelson Cruz going to Tampa. That's just fantastic.
I just have a bunch of. First off, I've said for years now that he's one of the most underrated players. Every year he just puts up the same exact thing, and he's 42 or something.
I think so.
Always does it, but if you're Tampa, why do you have to give up everyone in the offseason and then you go out and get Cruz? I just feel the ways they spend money are just not consistent.
It's definitely not. It's I feel they just try to get creative, and somehow it just works, even though it doesn't make sense to us or to anyone. Somehow they just do these things, then they're still in contention, and then they make a trade to make them make the playoffs. Because listen, I mean, Nelson Cruz going to Tampa is just first of all, this is a move that I said would happen a month ago. So I called it on the podcast, but
that's fair. We'll check the tapes, but
but anyway, I think it's a perfect fit, though, to be honest with you. They didn't really have a set DH like a lot of the other AL East teams did, which is a significant difference. I think the Red Sox have JD Martinez, the Yankees have Stanton, the Blue Jays, Vladdy sometimes, or the extra outfielder, Grichuk, whoever. I don't know, man. I think it was going to happen. It's just weird to see him not in Minnesota after these few years.
No, yeah, it's a great move. I mean, they're already in first without him, so
But
Wait, no, they're
speaking of the
not. When are
Rays, no,
the Red Sox are in first.
they're tied actually.
They're tied. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm losing
Yesterday,
track at this point.
they both have 60 wins, Red Sox and Rays. So
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah. But dude, speaking of the Rays, like we're saying how it's so weird what they do. They just traded Rich Hill to you guys.
I know. And like, let me tell you, I'm kind of sus of it though. Like, why, if he was this good, why'd they send him here?
Like I feel like in my head,
It's a
just
trap.
from being a Yankees fan and seeing what they do, they did this because they're about to make a move for a different starter and they didn't have room for both. That's what I think.
guess.
That's the only way I could think that.
I might
honestly.
be, yeah, I might be reading too much into it. That's fair.
Because Rich Hill has been solid this year, like better than people realize.
Right.
You know. Plus, I,
mean,
think it's
hopefully
guys
we'll get
getting
to
a
the point where we
lefty.
don't even need him in the rotation once Carrasco
I
and
know.
Krause's back, DeGrom's back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, plus you guys have a lot of righties though, and I think this kind of evens out your rotation a little bit because Rich Hill is a lefty. You guys don't have Mats anymore. He was really like the lefty there for a while in there.
Mhm.
So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, it's not a trap for you guys.
no, I hope not.
Yeah.
Your man Mercedes retired for a day, and he
Probably
was like,
about a
"Oh,
day.
nah, I'm back."
And he homered in his first minor league game back. By
Actually.
the way, yeah, he did. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else to say about it. I just like,
I don't even know what to say either. I don't know. I just know that maybe he'll make it back to the majors one day because he was pretty
I think
entertaining,
so.
to be honest.
oh yeah, I think he will. I mean, especially with the way he's hitting down there.
Yeah.
If he wants to play, I don't know. I don't know what's. Good.
Unless he
I'm
wants to.
not
just
sure what's going
retire
through his
again.
head at this point anymore. But
Yeah.
maybe next week he'll be retired again.
Never
And
know.
then big change: the Indians are now the Guardians, or will be
Yeah.
the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Dude, I mean, like, obviously there was reasons why they had to change the name, but did you see the logo? I mean,
This
I don't like it, man. I really.
it looked
I
kind of
don't
like
have a
minor
problem.
league-ish.
It
I
looks
actually
like a
don't-
logo you would make an MLB The Show as like a custom team. Really.
Am I weird that I don't hate the name though? I don't know. Everyone
I mean,
everyone else does.
Like, I think it could be worse. I don't necessarily hate it, but I don't love it. I don't know. Like, I thought that like they were the Spiders before they were the Indians, and I thought that would have been kind of cool
The
to
Spiders.
go back to that, just because they had already done that. So like that would make more sense, I thought, than just like a completely new name. I don't know. I
I
mean,
mean, like look at the NHL. Like Seattle just came out with the Kraken. Like that's kind of cool. I feel like,
I like that.
Well, like my point is like there's definitely some like cool names out there that probably could come up with.
Yeah. Plus, like I think they could have made the logo like way cooler. Like it's just a G.
Yeah.
It looks like I don't know, like the G with like the thing on the shoe. That's what like you know what I'm talking about, like the Hermes thing. That's kind of what it looks like on
Yeah.
the back of it. And then like the C looks weird. I don't know, man. Like they could have made it some like gladiator kind of guy or something, like with a sword or something cool. Like I don't know. I didn't really. The logo is just like the worst part for me.
It
Like,
does
so.
kind of look like straight up MLB The Show. Like create your own team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that division will now consist of the Guardians instead of the Indians. So we'll see. We'll see how long it lasts. They might.
Oh, you think
change
they
it
change
after
it?
a few years? I don't know. I mean, if people hate it this much after a few years and they don't change the logo up, I feel like they might end up changing it again. You
Change
never
the
know. though.
Cleveland baseball team.
Hey man, you got Washington in football, so
No, apparently it works. I don't know. But so this is our trade deadline preview because we're releasing this on Tuesday and then Friday, I believe, is the deadline. So we'll get into, I mean, obviously we've had some trades happen so far, but nothing like too crazy. So give me like a total surprise move. Give me like a
yeah, like there's been a few. I feel like the past few years, like Stroman to the Mets was one in 2019, or like
yeah.
the year that Cespedes got traded straight up for like John Lester was another weird one with Oakland and
Yeah.
Boston. Do you remember that? Like, I think this year, being the Mariners are still kind of in it. They're only about. We're gonna talk about them a little bit later. They're only about 2 games out of the wild card. And we know that Jerry Dipoto loves making moves, whether it's
Mm,
adding or subtracting. He makes a lot of trades every year. So I think the Mariners are going to acquire Jose Ramirez from the Indians.
it's fat.
I think that Ramirez isn't going to stay in Cleveland just because they just got down to 500. They're 48 and 48 right now at the time we're recording. A week ago, I wouldn't have said this, but they've kind of played horribly this week. Cleveland right now is behind Oakland, Seattle, Yankees, and Toronto in the wild card race too. So like they're kind of far back now. Um, Ramirez has two team-friendly options in 2022 and 2023, but they also wouldn't necessarily have to pick them up if they didn't want to. So he could also just be a rental and become a free agent after the season. And he would probably play second base every day. He's done that before, like with the Indians when they had I forget who they had at third, but when Ramirez first came up, he played second for a while, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Plus, the Mariners have Kyle Seager playing third. So,
yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's I think that would be a little bit surprising to a lot of people. So that's what I got right there.
Yeah, that was not the first name I thought would get moved. I guess there's a shot, yeah. It's right up their alley. How about I'll go the other way. I'll say that so their championship windows has been like a few years now, right? Like, I mean, they keep on trading pieces, but like they still have like this core. So what if they went like all in and got Nick Castellanos? Like the complete flip side. I mean, plug him in the outfield, spark the offense. You already have a decent pitching staff. Castellanos is hurt right now, but
I mean, that would definitely be a surprise for sure.
no, I'm not saying it'll necessarily happen, but
hey, man, like these ones we're saying right now, really out of the box a little bit. So
yeah,
that's the point. That would shake things up a lot, man, for the Reds especially. Because
well, do you think Castellanos gets moved at all?
I personally don't. Because the Reds are in second in that division. They're kind of close in the wild card. I don't know. I feel like they're going to hold on to it just because, like, they have Moustakas is hurt right now too. They have some guys hurt.
Yeah.
So like once they all come back, they could kind of get better. I don't know though. I don't think Castellanos gets moved.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my personal.
All right, then who do you think is the best overall player that gets moved on Friday?
Oh man, a lot of big names out there. Obviously, a lot of them from Chicago, but I think the biggest name is Chris Bryant. We've talked about him a lot. We talked about him last week about a potential trade. He can play multiple positions around the field. He's won an MVP. He's won Rookie of the Year. He was an All-Star this season. He was an All-Star like 3 other times, I think. And we all know what happened with Bryant in the front office with the service time stuff. Bryant wanted to become a free agent before this year.
Yeah.
It didn't work. So I don't think there's any possibility whatsoever that Bryant gets re-signed by the Cubs. So I think that is an obvious case trading him. And whoever he goes to, like I said, he's won an MVP before. If he gets thrown onto a team that's right in the middle of a race, you watch his numbers just like skyrocket because I think that would really pump him up. And I really do think he wants to leave Chicago. Like, I don't think he likes the organization anymore. I just think he needs a fresh start, in my opinion. So I think that Chris Bryant would be the best guy because I just think he's a lock to get traded. I don't see any scenario where he doesn't get traded, really. So,
damn.
Yeah.
I feel like that was such like a dynasty that wasn't.
Right.
Like that team definitely should have been better after 16. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely should have won more than one World Series. With that core there that they had, like, I don't know. It's not like it was disappointment because they broke the curse and everything. Like, they did their job.
No, yeah. But, like...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Even the next season, I feel like they just dropped off. I don't know. Yeah, that seems like a missed opportunity to me. So, I won't... Since you went with Brian, I won't go with him. So, I'll probably go with the next biggest like impact guy I can think of. So I'm gonna say Joey Gallo. Okay. Because 874 OPS, 24 bombs, pretty good defense. Like he just strikes me as a guy, like when Cespedes was traded a few years ago and he just put him on his back.
Yeah.
That stretch run, I could see Gallo doing that. So yeah, I just think as far as impact goes, and like he's streaky, but like again, like the flip side of that is like he can get like hella hot and carry someone. So
I mean, dude,
I would go
Cespedes was streaky, and like it just so happened that he was hot for those last 2 months that he was on you guys in 2015, I think. So
yeah, I'll never forget that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's been so many of those. Like, remember back in 2008, like CC with the Brewers did it too as a pitcher. That was even more insane that he did it as a pitcher. But yeah, I think Gallo. I've also heard that like he kind of wants to stay in Texas, but I've also heard that the Texas front office is not the best front office.
Okay.
Different outlets around the league, like so. I feel like they're going to trade him. There's not really a reason to keep him. I don't see the Rangers being good anytime soon either.
No.
So, yeah. He fits right in the middle of a lineup, and we've talked about too. Gallo can play first and he can play third. He has previously.
Yeah.
So he doesn't just play the outfield.
I'm also looking right now too. His strikeout rate is the lowest of his career right now, and his walk rate's the highest. So he's kind of all or nothing, but like not as much as he used to be.
Yeah, man. Remember, like he had a couple seasons where he hit close to 240 bombs each year, and like he struck out a ton. I think he led the league in strikeouts both years. But yeah, that's interesting though.
He's batting 225, but his OBP is 384. So like that's what I mean. It doesn't.
That's insane.
Doesn't even matter.
And he's got a 225 batting average. That's crazy.
That's like what Muncy did last year. Like I mean,
right? Exactly. Yeah.
All right, and we're just gonna go rapid fire through each position. Who you think is most likely to get traded? So I'll give you catcher first.
Okay, catcher. I'm going Kurt Suzuki from the Angels is getting traded to the White Sox because Grandal is hurt right now, so they need a veteran catcher over there. That's what I got.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you got for first base?
I'll say Jesus Aguilar gets moved. I don't see why the Marlins wouldn't make moves. I even saw a headline this morning. I was confused that Jeter wants to get better. I don't like. Does he really think he's going to hop the Braves, the Phillies, and Nats, and the Mets in that division? I don't know.
I don't see that happening. But
no, but we've talked like how Aguilar honestly is sneaky good. So
yeah, he would fit in a lot of places too. I mean, he could fit in San Francisco. He could fit in Milwaukee.
Could be a DH in the AL. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. How about second base?
I'm going to go Eduardo Escobar because he can play second base and he can play third base. And I'm sticking with the White Sox. I think he's going to Chicago. They have an obvious need at second base and catcher. So I think they're going to fill both of those spots at the deadline.
Okay.
So shortstop. Who do you think gets moved? This is a big one because there's a lot of big boys out there at shortstop.
I'll go Trevor Story out of Colorado. Honestly, I'm not that high on him. I know he's an all-star and everything, but if you look at his road numbers, they're not that good. I don't know. I just think he's a little overhyped, but I think he gets moved out of there. I don't see why Colorado wouldn't at this point.
Yeah, no, I mean, they tried to extend Nolan Arenado, and we all know how that worked out. So I don't think they're going to do that with Story. I don't think Story would want to do that. So I definitely think he's out of there too.
All right, third base.
Third base, pretty easy. Chris Bryant, like I just said. So Chris Bryant's out of there. I don't know exactly where he's going, but he's leaving. So Chris Bryant's out. All right. So this is kind of an interesting position because some guys can play center that don't necessarily play it right now. They play other outfield positions. So center field, who do you got moving?
I mean, I just mentioned Gallo. Again, that isn't always center, but I'll go with him. Yeah, I think he's out of there.
Yeah, definitely. Gallo usually does play right, like we have seen, but he could definitely play center field. So
right. How about left field?
Oh man, like again, I want to say like Brian Reynolds from the Pirates, but like he has so many years of control left. I feel like they may try to hang on to him. I think this is finally the year that Whit Merrifield leaves Kansas City. He's very versatile. Can play left field. Can play right field. He can play third. He can play second. I don't think he's necessarily going somewhere to be the everyday left fielder. I think he's going to go somewhere kind of to just be the guy to move around everywhere, like kind of like Ben Zobrist, a guy like that, where he's just going to play multiple positions. He reminds me a lot of Ben Zobrist, the way he hits and stuff too.
Yeah.
So
that's important to have though, like a versatile guy. I mean, just ask the Cubs.
Exactly, and the Royals too. Like, see how that worked out 2 years in a row. So
I forgot about that. He did go. Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty crazy. So I got Merrifield heading out of Kansas City finally.
Okay.
All right. So you picked Gallo for center field. So who do you got right fielder moving?
I mean, I'll go Adam Duvall.
Okay.
I just again though, I feel like the Marlins they should just sell. I don't see why they wouldn't. And he just strikes me as a guy that would definitely get moved. It's like a streaky power hitter.
Bro, he's honestly having like a sneaky good season too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen his stats. He has 22 homers and 68 RBIs already. Like,
damn.
I didn't even know that until I looked it up the other day. I was like, man, how is no one talking about Adam Duvall having this good of a season? Like,
and that's why you should cash in on him though, because he's probably peaking right now. Like, I don't think he's really that much better than that.
Hey man, I could see Duvall moving out maybe to like San Francisco or something, because that's who originally drafted him too. They could use like a big right-handed bat out there. So
okay.
I think that would be kind of interesting too.
I could see that, because their outfield's not the strongest. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go starting pitcher. You can go AL.
Okay, so I'll do AL. Man, I mean, I think Berrios does move, but I think Kyle Gibson is the guy who really definitely gets traded because he's on Texas, like we said. I think Texas has no real reason to keep anybody. Gibson's kind of had a restart bad stretch out here.
Yeah, I have him on fantasy. I mean, he's killed me.
Like yesterday, he only let up 2 runs somehow, but he had 8 walks. I was like, what? Oh,
damn.
But I think there could be some sort of package with Gibson and Gallo somewhere. I mean,
yeah,
Yankees is possible. I said Brewers a while back. I mean, I don't know. I think they definitely could package them together though and get a lot back. So I got Kyle Gibson heading out of Texas.
Okay.
So National League, I feel like there's way more choices too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go German Marquez. I feel like he's been hot, and again, Colorado seems like they'll be selling. Yeah, I don't think the Nationals are moving like a Scherzer or Ross or any of that. So yeah, I feel like that makes most sense for me, Marquez.
Man, it's so interesting. Like, I do think Marquez moves. I think that's a great move because he was just on the All-Star team, everything.
Yeah,
but going back to just touch on Scherzer for a second, you really don't think they trade him? I mean, dude, they're like, what, 7 games behind you guys right now? 8 games, maybe?
I don't know why they just don't strike me as sellers. Like, they very well could be.
I think that it might have been a different situation at the moment we're recording right now if Kyle Schwarber never got hurt and they still had this record.
That's true.
Schwarber was on a 1-year deal, so I think he probably would have left, and then everyone else would have started to leave. But I don't know now because, like, who would they trade? Max Scherzer and Joe Ross, I think, are both free agents after the season. John Lester is too, but, like, they don't have necessarily a ton of position players that are, I don't think. So, I don't know.
I didn't know Scherzer was a free agent at the end of the season. I feel like that kind of changes it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he is.
That's interesting.
And hot take right now, I got Scherzer going to Tampa Bay.
Oh, okay.
I think that's kind of why they got Rich Hill out.
That's why they get okay.
Honestly, this is their master plan. They didn't re-sign Morton, and they traded Snell because they knew they were going to trade for Scherzer right now. That's what.
Bro, imagine he goes to Tampa Bay, checkers, and they were playing chess. And dude, if they do that, there's no way they're losing that division. I feel like.
Dude, if they got Scherzer, they would blow past Boston. Honestly, I think so. That would be kind of
all right.
crazy.
Well, we'll come back to you in a week, and we'll see if you're right.
Yeah.
What are we up to? Reliever in the AL.
So I'm going with a guy that was actually just traded this offseason, who is a free agent after this year, going Raisel Iglesias, who is currently in the Angels. He got traded from the Reds to the Angels this offseason. And to be honest with you, I have him either going to Boston or to Houston because Houston
Okay.
needs obvious relief help. I mean, their bullpen is obviously the worst part of their team, but Boston has Matt Barnes as their closer currently, who is having a great season, but he doesn't have much closing experience.
Yeah, I feel
So
like I
I
wouldn't
think
trust him in the
to
postseason.
have Barnes as the setup guy and then have Iglesias as the closer, I think that would solidify their bullpen a lot more than it is right now. So
Yeah, Iglesias, I feel like his great stuff is inconsistent, but I
yeah,
mean, yeah, again though, he can put it together for a stretch run.
yeah. So who do you got for the NL relief pitchers?
I feel like this is an easy one. I gotta go Kimbrel.
Yeah.
I don't like his value is never going to be higher if you're the Cubs. I don't see how you couldn't move him.
No, I don't either. And I think again for Kimbrel, a perfect fit for him is Boston because he has pitched there before. I really wouldn't surprise me if he went back there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Huh.
I don't know though. You never know. I
And
mean,
then if you're thinking DH,
yeah, this is interesting.
what moves, if any, I think I made?
So I think that being Cleveland, we talked about them a little bit, how they're 500 right now. I think they're going to be trading guys. So I think that Framil Reyes is leaving, and I think he's going to Oakland because Oakland
Okay.
doesn't have a set DH out there. They kind of have Mitch Moreland being that guy right now, but if they get Framil Reyes, they can platoon Moreland with someone at first base.
Bro, I'm high on Framil Reyes.
Me too. And
I think he's still only what, like 25, 26?
yeah, this would be a total A's move. Like they would
Yeah.
they always make these under the radar moves, and he's going to go there and be like a beast. So imagine him in a lineup with Olsen and Chapman
Yeah.
if he's healthy. Like
That's solid. That's okay. Yeah. Oakland, yeah. I mean, I've said this a million. Oakland's such a wild card. I'll never know what they're gonna do.
yeah. So who do you got? Again, we could pick anybody. You could pick an NL guy, get him traded to an AL team, and have him DH too.
Yeah. See, like I already mentioned Aguilar,
Yeah.
how he could potentially be first or DH. I'll go with him too. Yeah. I feel like he's just so like there's no reason not to move him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's having a solid season too for Miami. I think he doesn't anymore, but he led the league in RBIs like about a week ago. Like he has a
Yeah.
ton of RBIs, so he's having a really solid year.
And being like a veteran presence too.
Yeah.
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 All right, get into what seems and not what it seems. Let's start first with one of your boys, Jameson Tyone. So overall this year, 4.36 ERA, 93 Ks over 95 innings. His first 12 starts, 5.46 ERA. Last 7 starts, 2.59. So what do you like from him? Who do you think he is?
Oh man. I think that JMO is more of the guy he's been recently. Because like let's put it into perspective. He barely pitched like the previous 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So like I think the beginning of this season, he just needed time to like just pitch again, like to get used to being on the mound, I think. Because you've seen now like the past 7 starts, like he's pitched great against good teams. It's not like he's beaten up on Baltimore and like the Royals. His past 7 starts, 4 of them have come against Oakland, Houston, and 2 against Boston. So he's pitched against legit contenders, and he has a 2.59 ERA, 5-0 record. They haven't lost. They lost one of his starts, the one in Houston, which I don't want to talk about, but it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault.
No, it was
and
completely the ball done.
Listen, I mean, the first 12 starts, he averaged about 4 1/3 innings pitched per start, which that's not even good for like a 5 starter. And then his last 7 starts, he's averaged about 6 innings per start, which is a quality start. So, yeah, I think he's more of this guy. I don't know, like maybe a guy with an ERA in the 3s. I don't know about 2.59, but I think he's like a legitimate number 3, possible number 2, if he's on.
Okay.
Like if he's on, because like yesterday against Boston, he probably had one of his best starts of the season. He allowed 3 runs, but only 1 was earned, and he went 7 innings. Like he had a great start. So I think like that a start like that, you're pushing number 2 territory. But like usual, Jameson Tyone is a probably a number 3 starter, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I trust him because I feel like this team like needs to be like spot on for the rest of the season. Like the stakes are high, and yeah, I feel like yeah, you're right because he has been hurt the last 2 years. He's been streaky this year. I don't know, man. He could prove me wrong. I'm a little skeptical right now.
Another stat I think is interesting with him is that 2 of his previous 3 starts have come in like pretty necessary games. Like the last game against Houston, he pitched great, and we were going for the sweep into the All-Star break.
Yeah,
obviously, again, we ended up losing that game, but he pitched great because he knew that we really wanted, like, we had to sweep there, and like we didn't. And then yesterday, we had lost 2 in a row to Boston after we had won 4 in a row, with 2 against Boston, then 2 against the Phillies. And he pitched great yesterday, and we got the win. Like he let up the 2 unearned runs in the first inning, and he didn't give up. It's not like he just stopped pitching and like said fuck it. Like,
yeah,
he literally went out there and shoved for 7 innings. So I think that the mindset is kind of different for him now than it was in the beginning of the season too. Because I feel like he's just, I don't know. I just think he's coming into his own a little bit more now.
yeah. I think on a good team, he should be like a number 4 though. I feel like he shouldn't be relied on to be a lot more than that.
I mean, like if you look at it though, like if Kluber was healthy, JMO is maybe number 4 because like
That's
Montgomery
true. Yeah.
could be number 3, Kluber would be 2. So like if everyone's healthy,
what is the latest with Kluber? Is he coming back anytime soon?
So he threw a bullpen a few days ago, like 30 pitches, I think. He should be going in a rehab start, I think, within the next couple of weeks, actually. So I think he should be back probably within the next month, I'm assuming. So that's good. Hopefully he can stay healthy after that through September and kind of help us make a push, because I agree, like, I don't want to have to rely on Tyone as good as he's been. Like, I don't want to have to rely on him that much because, again, he actually hasn't thrown in a while, so I don't want to push too many innings on him either. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
We want him there in October. Let's say we do make the playoffs. We don't want him to, like, his arm to be dead by then. So,
yeah. What is that, 95 right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anything more than like 60 more would be kind of pushing it, I feel like.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I'm just making a number up in my head. I'm just thinking of like past injuries to pitchers. Yeah. So, yeah. Next guy, Gregory Soto from the Tigers. He was an all-star this year, has a 2.7 ERA, 11 saves, 10.8 Ks and 9. But 2019-2020, he was 0-6 with a 5.04 ERA. So is he legit or not? Because I feel like you also keep in mind, like, every team needs as far as the all-star thing goes, every team's required to have one. So a little iffy.
I mean, I think that, like, I don't think he was just an all-star because of that. I mean, if you look at his stats, they are good. Like, 2.70 ERA for a Tigers team that is really bad is pretty good. You know what I mean? Plus, like, 10.8 K per 9 for a closer is pretty legit. Like, you look at his past 2 seasons, like, they were just not good. An ERA over 5, that's not good at all. Plus, his K per 9 was like 9.2 previous 2 years instead of 10.8. He pretty much went up like 2 for 9 innings.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that this is what it seems, and I'm going to tell you why. Because his FIP, his FIP, has gone down each of the past 3 seasons. But in 2019, his FIP was 5.40. So that's not good, obviously.
Yeah.
But in 2020, his FIP was 3.76. So that means that his actual ERA was a lot worse than what it should have been last year.
Right.
And then this year, his FIP is 3.46. I mean, that's a little bit higher than his actual ERA this year, but still, I mean, that's good enough for a closer to have an ERA. Let's say his ERA was 3.46 and he still had the same numbers. It's like saves-wise and K per 9-wise. That's still solid for a closer. So that's why I do think that he's legit. I also think he's got a shot to get traded. Even though he's only been in the league for 3 seasons, everyone always needs relievers. So, plus, like, if you were to see regression next year from him for whatever reason, you might not get as much back. So
True. Yeah, his
yeah.
values might be the highest it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say. Well, yeah, I think the fact his FIP is like significantly above his ERA right now shows like he's going to regress a little bit. Yeah, I'll say he's like a low tier closer. I don't really think I'd trust him too much. I mean, on like a good team, I like he makes sense for Detroit, But
yeah, right. So I think that if he does get traded, he's probably not going to be the closer wherever he goes to. But I think he'll be like a high leverage guy. I just don't think that he'll be pitching the ninth for whatever team he were to get traded for. Let's say if he did get traded.
Yeah, be like a setup guy, 7-man guy. Yeah, makes sense.
Plus, there's actually a little bit of a weird stat about him though. He leads the American League in wild pitches with 9, which is kind of odd.
It's a little sus.
That's weird. Like, I don't know. Maybe some of those should have been pass balls. You never know. But for a guy to be having this good of a season and to lead the league at 9 wild pitches is kind of strange.
That's true. He's making it work.
Yeah.
All right, get into injuries. I have another ridiculous Mets one for you. So David Peterson the other day, he's walking around the clubhouse. It's Friday night. He's having a nice day. And then he fractured his foot. He just fractured his foot. He was walking.
Really?
No, and that's all it was. So he was already hurt. He's hurt even more now. He's going to require surgery. I don't expect to see him back.
I mean, did he at least fall down the stairs or something, or what?
No,
what's the story here?
I don't really know. I just heard freak accident. He was just walking around. Let me tell you though, not even like the weirdest injury I've heard from in like my life as a Mets fan.
No,
it's not even close, actually.
No, it's not. It seems like there's a trend though with the Mets. They have all these weird things happen.
Oh no, yeah, I'm very like Lucas Duda was moving furniture one day and his back just gave out.
Yeah, we all remember Cespedes with what did he step in a ditch on his farm or something?
No, he was on his ranch and the bull was coming for him, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah,
I mean, like he's David Peterson. I wasn't expecting him to like be
no,
I don't know, be that good for this team, but. I don't know. No, that's.
I think that maybe this also has to do with why you guys just traded for Rich Hill. I don't know if that trade happened before or after Peterson got hurt, but
I think that was before.
Was it before? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, regardless, it worked out perfectly regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's what she wrote there. Cardinals, Jack Flaherty and Miles Mikolas are going to be back within the next couple of weeks. Be a boost for them. I don't know if they still have a shot in the Central, but
yeah, I don't necessarily think so, but it will definitely help. So,
yeah. As far as Marlins go, Trevor Rogers, who is having a great season, 10-day IL, lower back muscle spasm. So doesn't sound
too
sucks. Serious. But
he was an all-star this year too. He was having a great year.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And then Jazz Chisholm Jr. will be back when he's first eligible on July 30th, so this Friday. And then maybe the biggest one, Nick Castellanos going to the IL with a microfracture in his right wrist. Did he get hurt on a hit by pitch, or am I making that up?
I think he might have, but I really don't even remember exactly when he got hurt. I kind of feel like this kind of came out of nowhere. Like he was just on the IL at some point. I don't know.
Because I noticed he wasn't playing during the Mets series, so I wasn't sure what. That sucks, man.
Yeah, no, I know.
He's like lower tier MVP candidate, honestly.
I mean, I think if he was healthy the whole year, he definitely would have been.
Honestly, probably high tier. He was killing it. So
that's interesting for the Reds though too. Like, let's say he's not going to be back soon. You know who else is an outfielder, right-handed outfielder that you said might get traded from the Marlins? Adam Duvall. He played a bunch of years in Cincinnati too. Let's say Castellanos is going to be out. They could make a trade and get Duvall, so that would be kind of interesting there.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right, wrapping up here. What series looking forward to this week?
Yeah, so as much as I want to say Yankees at Rays, that's Tuesday through Thursday. I'm not gonna, because I think there's a more exciting AL East matchup, unless we suddenly sweep the Rays, which I doubt will happen in Tropicana Field. But Boston goes into Tropicana right after we do, and that is going to be the 30th through August 1st. Obviously, like we said before, both teams are currently tied for first in the AL East.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's say somehow after these next few days, they're still tied with some of them lose, some of them don't. And then they play each other tied. That's going to be a big series, especially because it's at Tropicana Field.
Yeah.
I don't think the Red Sox play as bad there as we do, but they're not necessarily great at Tropicana either. No one is really, except
No,
for the Rays.
I would just never want to play there if I'm an opposing team, I feel like.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm kind of thinking that Tampa Bay is going to make the playoffs, regardless if it's a wild card or winning the division.
Yeah.
And if it's a wild card, and let's say the Yankees turn their season around and we have to go play them at Tropicana Field, I would not like that.
No, I wouldn't feel too confident about that.
No. But yeah, I think Boston Tampa Bay is going to be a pretty good series to look forward to. So
yeah, I like that. I'm going to go Astros at Giants Friday through Sunday. So, I mean,
okay.
2 first place teams. Dodgers are right down the Giants' neck right now.
Yeah.
I believe they're also playing this week as well. The series right before is Dodgers at Giants.
Oh, it is.
So, I mean,
Okay.
potentially Giants won't be in first place by the time the series comes, but regardless, 2 great teams. Astros have a decent lead, I want to say, over Oakland. I don't even know what that race is anymore.
I think it's probably about 4, maybe
4 games.
something like that. 4 or 5 games, maybe something like that. Yeah. Yeah, and just remember, both of these series we picked, we could see some guys showing up mid-game for both of these series.
That's true. Yeah.
That just got traded over. So that's definitely possible. Because I think the deadline has like a time, right? Is it like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the afternoon?
I feel like it's 4 Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be we could definitely see some guys walking into the clubhouse wearing a different uniform on those 2 series. So,
Yeah.
So
all right. So stat of the week. I actually have a good one this week. So this was posted on July 23rd. So it might not still be applicable, but Freddie Freeman has gone 29 straight plate appearances without a single swing and miss. It's kind of hard.
Come on. Are you serious? That's like something else. Wow. I mean, Freddie Freeman's good, but to do that is nuts. Are you kidding me?
Honestly, even as a Mets fan, I like him. Even just like his personality, I feel like he's always talking to everyone that comes to first.
Oh yeah.
Definitely
He's
like,
oh man, he's on my fantasy team too. And like earlier this season, he kind of had a weird April.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like shitting on him, and I was like, dude, like he just won the MVP. You really think it's going to be like this the whole year? I'm like, of course he's going to be fine. And and then he started the All-Star game at first base. So,
he's been the one constant, I feel like, for that team. They've had so many people go down, people move around, but he's just been there the whole time. So,
hey, impending free agent.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Although I don't think that he gets traded. Do you?
No.
No.
No, I feel like Atlanta's too much in the race. Yeah.
Plus, could you see him in a uniform other than Atlanta? Like, there's no way they don't extend him or whatever, re-sign.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that wraps up for us. We'll have a lot to talk about next Sunday. See who gets moved, but
hey, man, everyone enjoy Friday because it's going to be a big day.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff's going to be happening. So,
and the Mets get the black jerseys back. I'll be at the game.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah.
I'm hyped. It's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
But all right, everyone, take it easy.
Yep. Have a good week, guys.